Hey everybody, my name's Alyssa. This is Baba, and we are Fuel System Podcast. And we are talking today about the thing that is making people go, well, shit themselves. So let's talk about that parasite. Well, how do we even pronounce it? That's a good start, right? Do you know?
Yeah. Is it like
How do you pronounce it?
cyclospora or something like that? I don't even know what
That
it
was
is.
that was actually correct, and that is perfect. I didn't even know what the hell it was. I just know it's a parasite. So yeah, we're talking about the parasites and what are we doing about this? And why are they all of a sudden all over our produce? I mean, why is everyone in America starting to be healthy and they're let's just poison our produce? Okay, so I guess we'll give a little backstory of it and then we'll kind of jump into it, I guess, that way, right? So
Sure.
they're saying that this parasite is on vegetables and fruits, things cilantro, parsley I saw, and then lettuce and raspberries. And I think they're just making things up because they want people to just buy shitty food. And then they're also saying that it's stemming from Taylor Farms, which we don't know if it's 100% accurate. But then someone said, yes, it was true. Then someone said it wasn't. So here we are. And Taylor Farm, they're saying it's from Mexico. And then someone jokingly was, well, we should tariff Mexico. But okay, that makes no sense because that's the world we live in. And here we are. They're saying it's contaminated water. Usually that's where it comes from, the sewage water. So I'm not sure how that happened unless there are farmers just not being able to go to the bathroom properly, or which could be possible. You never know. I don't know how to go down in Mexico. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. It's causing people to have diarrhea, stomach upset, dehydration, and they have to go to hospitals because they're just not equipped to handle it. And then they're given antibiotics. And I'm not sure why they're given antibiotics, but we'll jump into that as well. Well, I am sure, but and not sure at the same time. Does that cover it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty good. I like that it comes from shit water and then it makes you have watery shit. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's just the full circle of life, you know? Basically, whenever we talk about parasites, if no one knows what parasites are, they are these little organisms that live inside of you. And ironically, parasites are actually good for you and parasites are bad for you, right? So parasites actually eat up the toxins in your body. So anything like mold spores, they'll chew on that. Some Lyme bacteria, they'll chew on that. They eat it. The problem is when you have an overabundance of parasites, your gut is not healthy enough to handle it. So then all of a sudden you start feeling really, really bad. So you get Herx reaction, which is basically hives, itchiness, fatigue, all this kind of fun stuff. You might notice it more when a full moon is happening, but because for some reason it makes the parasites go mad. And that's why there's actually there's studies that show that there's more crimes committed during full moons, and it's actually driven by parasites. So it's an ironic situation here because you do want the parasites in you to take care of certain things, but as soon as they die off, all that stuff that they have eaten has now gone into your bloodstream, and that's why you feel sick and crappy. And that's pretty much the gist of what parasites are and what happens.
That
Yeah,
sounds terrible.
it is. It's very, very terrible. And the worst part is that parasites can also live in biofilm. And if no one knows what biofilm is, we've discussed this a long time ago when we talk about Lyme, and that's gel-like substance that forms and it hides from your immune system. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these little bursts happen, especially if you're taking antibiotics. They'll attack the biofilm sometimes and they'll burst, and then all of a sudden all these things will come out with the parasites and the bacteria and the mold, and then that's what happens is it enters the bloodstream once again, and then you start to feel sick, especially if you have a leaky gut. You don't have a strong gut, the tight junctions that form that help prevent anything from leaking into the bloodstream. So potato patata, here we are.
You know what? That was the perfect summary.
It really is. I mean, at least you can eat potatoes, so we're good.
That's true.
Is there something you want to discuss it
You
why
know,
this is happening?
so I told you that I didn't research this very much. I did a little bit, of course. I'm not just going to come in
Mhm.
blind. But I think it's ironic that the last episode we did, we talked about regenerative farming. And I read that parasite comes from the soil and sewage water and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
that's kind of crazy how it ties in. This is the research that I did.
Okay.
I texted you and said, do you think this is a conspiracy? And you said maybe. Because my conspiracy theory about they're using foods to make us sick, and then we go to the doctor, and then we get on medications. It's a whole thing. It's a vicious cycle. So I tried really hard to get Chat GPT to be on my side, and Chat GPT was not on my side. I think he's a he. He was like, you know what? It was for sure a he because
You are.
Oh, a man. No, just kidding. He,
Excuse me.
okay, I was trying to talk about could they use it to weaponize people and make people are starting to eat healthy, and so they contaminated these veggies and fruits so that people eat them and then get sick, and then they're now you see all these memes, a Reese's cup, and this never did this to me. Okay, whatever. And I was trying so hard to get ChatGPT to go with me, and he actually gave me really good evidence of how it's kind of hard to weaponize a parasite versus we've talked about Lyme's disease. What if that's a weapon? COVID, what if that was a weapon? It's kind of hard to do it with a parasite. So, I don't know. ChatGPT stumped me, and I was trying really hard. I kept going back at him. Come on. It's for sure a conspiracy. And he's like, I completely understand why you think that it's a conspiracy, but you're wrong. I was like, shut up.
Well, but unless, someone purposely filled, the fields with some kind of contaminated water, and then that's going to cause the parasite to grow, and then it was all over those, Taylor Farms, as who they're saying is huge. They sell to Kroger, Walmart, they sell to majority of chain restaurants. Taco Bell, that was the big one, right?
Yep.
And everyone eats fast food. Everyone goes to Walmart, especially the rural areas, right? So, can it be weaponized? Absolutely. I think chat's a little dumb. I think I definitely think it'd be weaponized. And maybe not in the sense of like you're gonna individually put the parasites in there, but it could definitely cause a contamination. And it did. And it hit like what? How many states did it hit? I think over 9 states
I think
severely.
so.
I'm pretty sure. So you have millions of people that are getting sick. So potato potato, and that's what this is episode's gonna be called, potato potato, because it's all depending on how you look at it. Because now, Bama, what they're pushing is antibiotics, right? So not only are they pushing shit food, but now they're pushing that antibiotic, and they're like, well, you need to take the antibiotic to get rid of this parasite. Never in my life have I ever heard, or any other country, kill something with antibiotics, a parasite that needs to be killed with an antibiotic. The only reason they're saying that is because maybe it causes an infection in the intestinal lining, which, okay, could see if you're on a healthy person, you know what I mean? But it's not, you don't need antibiotics to kill a parasite. You can literally use garlic, ginger, pumpkin seeds, papaya. You can use coconut, turmeric, oregano oil. You can use anything fermented foods. If you're loading your system with this, you're good. Also, people on omeprazole, you might have a problem because you're killing the acid in your gut. So if the less acid you have, the more chances you have of parasites being more prevalent in your body. Everyone has parasites. There's no one in this world that doesn't have parasites. So if you think you're clean, you're not. Okay, so people are like, well, I'm not dirty, Alyssa. Yes, you are. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm very snippy this one. I like it.
Me too.
Anyway, so you are. Okay. If you have a dog, you definitely have them. Okay. The dog licks your face, you know where that dog licks. Okay.
Ew, facts.
Okay. And I, as a young kid, say, period.
Period. Clock it. They say that too.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that me and Chat argued about. I was like, okay, don't antibiotics destroy your gut microbiome? And I was trying so hard to hammer ChatGPT. And he was, well, it's just a very short term course of antibiotics. And if you take probiotics with it, it can fix your gut. And I was like, oh my God, just stop. Here's the thing. I know this girl who got the parasite, and she said for 15 days it was horrible. She was sick for 15 days. She got it when she went to Disney. And one of her friends that was with her is a doctor, and the doctor was take probiotics, and she said the probiotics helped.
But this is what I'm saying. You can literally, like, what was the first line of defense before anybody ever had antibiotics? It was herbal plant treatments. So,
Probiotic, not antibiotic.
Yeah, it's like, come on. And the reason they're telling you that is because you're gonna build the good bacteria in order for it to kill off the parasite. Who would have thunk it? If you ate a good diet and you took probiotics and I don't know, you would feel really good, maybe exercise a little bit, put down the GLP-1, you should be fine.
There's someone watching this right now that just said, I tried to eat a good diet and I got explosive diarrhea.
Someone out there, I'm going to eat it just so I could lose the weight, girl. And apparently that was a trend on TikTok. I'm sorry. I heard that from somebody.
Natural GLP-1.
There you go. Guys, if you want to just do it that way, just all one and done. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, do it. Yeah, go ahead and
It's
move.
like yeah, the parasites were over here like, oh, you got GLP-1s, watch this, multiply, multiply, multiply.
Right. Go ahead and lose that 8 pounds of water weight.
Yeah, I'm just being real, right? Let's be real. Like I know, listen, Bama, I got to be honest with you. I know a lot about parasites. I've learned about them hardcore. I could sit here and bore the crap out of you, but there are things you can do to take, or things you could take to get rid of them, and like black walnut hull, wormwood, cloves, oregano oil, all that stuff. It doesn't cost that much. It's not antibiotic, and guess what? It doesn't mess with your gut. And then what chat will tell you is don't take it because it will hurt your gut lining. And no, it won't. It won't hurt your gut lining. What it's doing is killing things. So you're going to feel uneasy. And yes, you're going to feel a little sick because it's killing off stuff, So I've just never heard of that in my life. Especially if you think about it, you go back to the ancient Greeks, right? When we had no refrigeration, okay? The one thing they used was oregano oil to preserve their meats and to kill all the bad bacteria and even parasites.
Yeah.
So
we did a whole episode about how food is medicine, and ginger is the thing that I kept saying over and over again.
ginger is crazy, man. That is so good for your stomach. So good. A lot of people think they don't have parasites already, which your body naturally has. And then they also think they can't get parasites anywhere else. You can't get your parasites in your uterus or your brain. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Which is what they find. A lot of people that suffer with bipolarism and stuff like that, they're finding that they may have parasites in their brain and it's causing inflammation in their brain. And that's why they're having these mood disorders. So here we are. You know what I mean?
So you're dirty and now you're bipolar.
Yeah, you're dirty, bipolar, you can't eat greens. I don't know. It's just not going well for you.
I also think it's so funny that originally they were Taco Bell is the problem. How do you know that it came from Taco Bell lettuce? You ate Taco Bell. That alone, if I ate anything from Taco Bell, I'd be in the bathroom immediately.
I mean,
how do you know?
That's pretty on brand. It's on brand for Taco Bell. Everyone knows it looks the meat that goes in that goes out,
I mean, any fast food, honestly. If I eat any fast food, bathroom. It's over.
Instant. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's just like a blame game. You know what I mean? It's like they're blaming Mexico. Do we know what's from Mexico? I don't know. Maybe. Taylor Farms is all over the world. They're in Europe. They're in the UK. Taylor Farms is everywhere. So
yeah, we can make this another conspiracy. They're blaming Mexico so that they can be like, build the wall, your wall. Mexico's not the problem.
Mexico farmland is not the problem because I'm sure their farmland is probably actually farmland's probably actually cleaner. Our farmland is not as clean as other countries, so it's pretty crazy. But I don't know. To me personally, I think this parasite that's going around is just a joke. I'm sure people are getting it, but it definitely stemmed from somewhere for sure. You know what I mean? So, but yes.
Yeah. What else? What else did you text me about? You texted me about something else.